Hello everybody! I'm Blaise Fiedler, a wedding photographer in the south of France, and today I'm going to be explaining how we can create texture with light. We're going to be using these small flashes to create contrast where there is originally no contrast. My test subject is going to be this old 1936 book. We're going to create texture in this paper. Paper is very two-dimensional, yet we are going to try to create a three-dimensional look to this paper. So let me first take a test shot of this book with absolutely no flash on. Let's give it a shot here. Okay. Okay, this is a pretty well exposed photo, 1/50th f8 at 400. We have a photo that's well exposed. However, if you zoom into the paper, you will see that it has absolutely no contrast. And the trick to create texture is simply bringing light from the side. So to succeed there, we're going to be using a pair of Pixel X800c. These are their newest flashes. It's a full-feature TTL flash that include a radio communication module into the flash, so you can trigger these off-camera flashes with no need for other transmitters. So let me first set up my master flash. Okay, here we go. So this is eTTL mode. Hold this button and you enter into master flash mode. You're in channel 2 radio communication mode. So all good. So what we have here is that we have disabled the master flash. Master flash is off. So it's just communicating, but it's not actually triggering. Now let me get here into my slave flash. I press once, I press twice, and I'm now into slave mode. Channel 2, group, I'm going to put this immediately here in group B. Okay. So there we go. Slave is on. Zoom, let me set a zoom here, a wide angle zoom, set 24. So we're all good here. Okay, so don't worry about this. They're going to communicate by radio. So I'm just going to be putting this on the side. It's slightly lower than my book. And now what's very important is I'm going to kill, let me turn this off, the flash off for a second. I'm going to kill my ambient completely. So I'm going to be moving here to ISO 100. So that's 2 stops. And I was at 1/50th of a second. Let me move this to 1/200th of a second. So I've moved that actually 5 stops down. Okay, let me take a test shot without the flash. Okay, so now there's almost no ambient light on. Let me turn the flash on. So now we have this flash as master, but it's turned off. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so here we go. Let's look together at this photo. What we see is that I have exceptional texture on the paper. Now, the left side is a bit burnt because it's very simple to understand. This flash is triggering a huge amount of light here, and of course, much less light there. Something else is the right-hand side of the book is completely in the dark. So let's try to fix these 2 problems. The first problem is something about the physics of light, is that this book is simply too close to the flash. So I'm just going to move the book slightly away so that the flash is more consistent towards the end of this book. The drop down of light is less intense. And now the second problem we had is that this page, the right page here, was way too dark. So we have to turn this page up a bit. So if you have a stack of coins, you can put it there, put it underneath, but because I'm a bit of a broke photographer, I have exactly 63 cents here, so not exactly a stack. So you can use anything you have. I'm going to be using a wine cork. Here's the wine cork. Up to you whether you want to drink the bottle of wine before this or not. It might help you in terms of photography. So I'm just going to put this under the book. So I'm slightly turning this up. Okay, now I'm not changing anything. This is anyway all in eTTL. Let's take a second shot here. Okay, this is already much nicer, but I still have this flash that's a bit too low. I would just need to get it, it's very slightly above the book. So for that, you know, do things simple. Just take a stack of books, put it right here, and now you've got your flash. This is, you know, 24 millimeter flash just above this book. Let's go. So we have very nice texture here on the left side, but not much texture on the right side. And also, I have the feeling that the left side's a bit dark. So first, let's get this page down very slightly, so the light is going to be, you know, shallower and as such creating more texture here. And what I want as well is to increase the power of my flash. So I'm just going to here do the plus or minus 1, and I'm going to increase this by 1 full stop. Okay, let's go. Okay, now if I look, I see you know, blinking spot here in the middle. That's slightly hot. Let me just get this down very slightly. Plus 0.7. Okay. Very good. So now we've got a much better exposed photo everywhere. Now, you know, you might say, well, I'm not too happy about this dark part. So let's use this master flash to help a little bit. I just turned this here on, and I'm going to be setting this as A, B, and A and B are equally contributing to the exposure, 1, 1. Let's do this. Okay, so I've filled in nicely the light here in the middle, but I have the feeling my fill-in is slightly too strong. So I'm going to just change this very fast. Now remember, the master flash is A and my slave flash here is B. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to change this ratio and say, well, B, you're going to be contributing, let's say, 4 times more than A. So A is going to be just a very slight flash, fill-in. Okay, a bit too exposed. Let me move this down a little bit here, plus 0.3, and still too much. And at 0. Okay, now we have a nicely exposed photo with both flashes contributing at different ratios. Now this is fantastic, and we've used radio eTTL, which is, you know, highly recommended when you're working with moving subjects. Here, my subject is not moving at all. It's a book. So it really is as easy, if not even easier, to work in manual mode. And that's exactly what I propose we do right now. So to do that, on the master flash, let's move this simply to manual mode, M. Okay, I'm going to be setting here only the slave flash on. So let me do this. AB, very good. Let me turn the master flash off. And now A is not contributing at all. And B, let me put this at 1/30th, 32, fraction 32 of power at f8 ISO 100. Let's try this. Okay, at 1/32nd of a power, I see that I'm underexposed. So very easily, let me just move this up to, let's say, 1/8 of a power. So I've moved it up 2 stops. Okay, that's slightly too much. And just going down 2/3 of a stop. There we go. We have a very nice exposure. Time to move in my master flash on, and let me put this at the very lightest power, 1/128th power. Okay, we've very nicely filled in this light here, while still keeping the texture in the book. What's beautiful now is that we are able to very easily reproduce this effect on any other book we have, because these parameters now are set. Whatever I'm going to be putting here is going to be working very nicely. So, you know, it's really up to you whether you want to use the Pixel X800c's TTL system or manual system. Depending on what you want to do, one might be better than the other. The great thing is that with this system, you have all the tools necessary for your creativity. If I can summarize this, you know, the most important thing that we did is really bring the flash off camera at a very strong angle with the book, or whatever it is you want to capture. I could have very well placed the second flash right here as well. So I have, you know, two cross lights that will be contributing greatly to the texture. I prefer to use a very slow, low fill-in, you know, at about 1/4 to 1/8 of the power of the main flash. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and you know, just continue doing beautiful stuff with your photography. I'm Bless Fiedler. See you soon.